Some students could not understand the few slides at the last, so I am repeating the words. The poor man was taken aback, was shocked, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, annoyance means irritation. Sir, you have a dog with you? You will have to pay for it accordingly. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Quadruped means four animal. Although dog is four animal, but it's a monkey, not a dog. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was a sum handed over as his fare ticket. Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, just to get even with this, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, what must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals? So tell me, what should I pay for this tortoise? And the ticket collector, he almost laughed, looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, no charge, sir, it's not a dog. You may carry it with you. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where Donkey lives, where he had a companion for the family, donkey Nana. What is the name of the donkey? Yes, Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable with the donkey Nana. So let's see what happens next in the story. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause, without any visible cause, reason, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches, sides, and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. What she did, she dragged Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Fastened means attached. See what mischief he had done. Toto and Nana never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot like a small kid, then the other. You see, people do like this, in fact, children in winters, as he had seen me doing until he was into the water up to his neck. Clever, quite clever. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could do the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So cold he felt. If anyone laughed at him during his performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he felt angry like small children do, and we would refuse to go on with his bath, and he refused to go for the next bath. He is quite like a kid. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. Oh my god. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Ooh, man. Finding the water just warm enough for the bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. Oh man. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Oh God, he must have been burnt like this. But thank God he was rescued. then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him, pulled him out, half boiled out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Means the next name for Toto would be mischief only. The naughtiness. He was always tearing things to pieces. He got on everybody's nerve. Nobody could be in balance when they were with Toto. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. One day at lunchtime, large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. You can see in the picture. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. Oh, what a glutton. My grandmother screamed. She shouted like anything, and Toto threw a plate at her. No, that's a misbehavior. Is it good thing? No. So can you keep monkeys as pet? Moving on. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through the window. We found him in the branches of jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. Oh God, quite a misbehave. It must not be mischief. It is something that is not acceptable and it shouldn't be tolerated at any cost. With this monkey, he was not in anybody's hands. He rushed away. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Slowly, the family understood that Toto was not such kind of animal that could be kept as a pet. Yes, monkeys cannot be tamed. They are very mischievous. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do, means we were not that rich and could not afford frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. He used to destroy, dismantle everything, each and everything. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. That means he got Toto for 5 rupees but sold him for 3 rupees just because he could not get over him and he wanted to get rid. In fact, family wanted to get rid of him.